Okay, balik po tayo. Pastor Joseph, kailangan natin ngayon tingnan, paano kung dumating na sa punto, alam mo, itong problema ng sexual urges, ito, human psychology lang ito. When you have very frequent sex with the same partner, dadating ang panahon, pagsasawaan eh. Or it becomes mechanical. In other words, it no longer becomes the kind of romantic thing that it was meant to be an expression of love and affection, etc., for a man for a woman and a woman for a man, nababago na. At tapos, yung mga baser methods, kasi once the sexual desire has subsided, ang realidad ng personalities, ang yun ang iiral eh. Ngayon, kung parating ito, bakbakan ng bakbakan yun, o hindi magkatugma sa pagkakaunawa, o sa ganyan, kung minsan kasi, alam mo, ang sentimiento at sama ng loob ng isa't bawat isa, ng lalaki o babae sa bawat kanila in marriage, dumadating, hindi mo pinapansin, hindi mo na so hindi mo nagagawa ng remedyo, or kung minsan talagang ayaw mo lang, kung minsan
then it builds up.
din eh.
Yeah, it builds up. It's painful. But see, call me a hopeless romantic, okay? But I believe that a marriage should be like good wine. It gets better as it ages.
Oh, that's also nice sayings.
True. No, but see, for me,
most relationships, what happens is the relationship is fine and then it goes down.
unfortunately, I have to agree with you, okay? But there are exceptions to that.
Yes, of course.
Now, I believe that those exceptions are not chambalang. There was a lot of work.
Kailangan malaman natin anong ginawa nilang tama.
Correct. Now, I believe the scriptures teach enough on how to maintain that, so that even sexually, even the sexual aspect of the marriage will not be just for the sake of doing it or just to relieve sexual pressure and so on and so forth.
Alam mo, kung titingnan mo ang marriage at saka ang relasyon ng mag-asawa, sa umpisa yan, maganda sa taas, pagkatapos pababa na. In other words, when the romance out of the union goes out, the reality of the two characters and how they evolved and were shaped by early childhood experiences and parental experiences begin to come to the fore. And obviously, iba mga magulang yan, ibang karanasan ng lalaki at ng babae. Ayan, ngayon. Problema. Before we go to that, ito. 0916-736-1553. Why do we need divorce when we already have annulment, legal separation, etc.? What makes divorce a better choice? It's a better choice, kanya ito tinatawag nilang easy divorce law.
Yeah.
Kasi para makakuha ka ng annulment legally, katakot-takot na gastos.
Yeah.
At saka matagal ang proseso. At saka dito hindi pwedeng pumunta kayo humingi ng annulment if both of you want the annulment. It will not be accepted by the court because that is considered a connivance. So maraming mga problema doon sa annulment. Kanya lang sa akin, the annulment that we have here is just a euphemism for divorce.
Yeah. Because the end result is the same.
Nagkakaroon din ng separation of conjugal property,
Yes.
nagkakaroon ng judgment ang huwes dyan na ito pupunta rito, sino merong custody yung mga kabataan,
Yes.
blah, 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 ano ang annulment na ibibigay mo or ano yung alimony na ibibigay mo sa asawa. At yan, maraming kailangan pag-usapan dyan. Like, for example, sinasabi ng mga babae, ito, maghihiwalay tayo. Basta iiwanan mo ako ng wala at ang susuportahan mo lang yung mga bata. Paano ako? Hindi ako nakapagtrabaho, hindi ako nakapag-ipon, hindi ako inaasikaso ko ang sarili ko, sapagkat ako, inaasikaso ko yung bahay at yung mga bata. Anong tatanggapin ko ngayon sa iyong suporta? Yun ay hindi pwedeng iwanan sa lalaki lang. Ang huwes doon ang siyang maghahatol. Kung ano ang pupunta sa isa't isa. Ngayon, kung yung lalaki gustong laktawan yung sinasabi ng huwes, pwede niyang gawin, pero
Yes.
hindi na siya obligado.
Not obligated.
Okay. Yun ay mahalaga sapagkat pagkatapos ng annulment o pagkatapos ng diborsyo, kung malaya na silang maaaring mag-asawa muli, Ang problema naman dito, pag hindi naaayos yun, bago sila naaanalo na didiborsyo, madalas ang nadedehado, yung asawang na diborsyo o naanal at saka yung mga kabataan.
Yes.
So yun
That's
naman ang
always
kailangan.
There are
natingnan.
always people that get hurt. And unfortunately, it seems like the women are the ones that are more hurt, more dehado, no? In any annulment and possibly even divorce, depending on how they
Kasi
put the implementing rules and
paano mo ngayon
regulations.
bibigyan ng halaga lahat ng malasakit at na kanyang iginastos pagpapalaki ng mga bata at saka sa pangangalaga ng bahay.
Yes. Especially if, let's say, she did not work.
Oo.
She became a stay-at-home mom for the purpose of taking care of the kids. You know, there's no monetary value to that. You know, and then to simply say,
No, well, but we are forced to make a monetary value.
exactly.
To be able to assign at least a monetary value based on the income of the man.
Yes.
Kung
At least,
sinasabi niya totoo.
yeah, at least there will be some kind of protection. There has to be.
Okay. 0916-461-7106. Hindi ba kung payagan ang divorce dito sa bansa, baka matulad tayo sa US na promiscuous ang society? What is your take on this, Pastor?
Definitely, that is a possibility. If we talk about possibility, it is a possibility. That's why we have to make sure that once we pass the divorce as a law, once it becomes a law, we have to make sure that we put certain rules. In the US, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, it's so easy to get a divorce.
Iba-iba yan bawat state.
Every state, yes.
Pero meron
But-
silang tinatawag na no-fault divorce.
Yes. But at the same time, you can divorce for almost any reason.
Well, yun nga, no-fault
See?
divorce
Yeah.
doesn't require a reason.
Exactly. That's the problem. Now, I'm just tired of your face. I want to divorce you. Or you snore too loud. I want to divorce you. That will
O kaya
become
yung
a
iba,
problem.
Hindi ko alam. Wala na sa kalooban ko yung nararamdaman ko
Yeah.
nung umpisa tayo.
So the sanctity and the permanency of marriage is no longer there. So it's really not till death do us part, but till my feelings for you die. That's what happens. And can it happen here? Of course it can.
Oh, it's happening every day.
It's happening every day already. We're just not legalizing it. But it is happening. If a couple is tired with each other, they'll just get somebody else.
Issue of practicality. Kapag mo mayroong mag-asawa, they've been married maybe 10, 12, 15 years, no? So they're still fairly young and fairly strong, and their sexual desires are maybe still quite active. Ngayon nakakilala yung lalaki ng isang babae na parang nagugustuhan niya. Yan ba'y dapat niya sabihin dun sa asawa niya? Walang nangyayari, ha?
Well,
Wala pang nangyayari.
See, one of the things that I teach also is what you call an emotional affair, okay, where nothing is happening physically. But the fact, see, even Jesus said, you look at a woman with lust in your eyes, you've already committed adultery. And there, you're just looking. You're not even talking. You're not doing anything.
Yung pagnanasa lang na
Yung
nagagana
pagnanasa lang. And the thing is, Jesus calls us to walk in holiness. And that means, even in the protection of our marriage, we need to do that. Now, the problem, of course, is men are very visual creatures. Okay, we look and we desire. Now, to look, a sexy woman happens to cross, and you look, and you say, wow, that's a good-looking woman, okay? Nothing wrong with that. The problem is if you look again, and again, and then you say, can I have your number?
Iba yun, no? But the thing that I'm talking about here is, how much transparency do you think should take place? Ngayon, for example, depending upon the emotional makeup of the wife, I may have reservations about telling her and being so open about what's going on within me because she will react negatively and she will not understand it.
That is, of course, a possibility, and that's why that has
It's
to
a
be
great
weighed.
possibility.
Yeah, it has to be weighed heavily. However, ideally, when you look at Genesis 2, you know, the Bible says Adam and Eve were naked and they were not ashamed. Part of that, I believe, speaks
That
of transparency. No, the transparency, you know. Well, Of course, at that time, they had not sinned yet. That happens in the next chapter. Okay? And because of that sinlessness, they could afford to be open to each other. Of course, the thing lang at that time, there was no other woman to look at. No?
Yeah.
So he could not say, I saw this woman across the street and I really lusted after her. Because there simply was no one.
Wala nang iba doon kundi si Satanas.
It's just Adam and Eve and all the other animals. Right? But the thing is, it speaks of a transparency, which I believe will make for a healthy marriage. The problem, okay, is what you just said, what if she goes ballistic? The problem kasi is when we get married, we're not ready for it. We simply
Or at
think
least
because
many are not.
many are not. So just because we are of age, we think we're ready. Emotionally, character-wise and all of that. Then we find out, and see, the thing about marriage, you don't know whether you're ready. It's like swimming. Until you jump in, that's when you realize whether you know how to swim.
Alam mo, isang malaking problema dyan, marami sa atin, lalaki, babae, nahuhubog tayo ng mga karanasan natin nung tayo yung mga maliliit pa lang. From the time that maybe you are 1, 2, until the time that you are about 12 or 15, lahat ng karanasan mo dyan sa mga kapatid mo, sa magulang mo, nanay, tatay, mga tiyo, tiya, at lahat ng barkada, hinuhubog niya ng karakter mo.
Yes.
Pero obviously, yung humuhubog sa karakter ng babae, iba sa humuhubog ng karakter ng babae. Bakit? Ibang pamilya ang pinanggalingan eh. Hindi mo naman alam kung ano talagang uri ng magulang na yun.
Even if you're next door neighbors.
Oh.
It's a different culture.
It's really almost a different culture. Pero so, ganun, paano anong kinalaman ng Panginoon sa pagkakasal ngayon ng tao?
Well,
Ano ba ang
see,
payo mo doon?
first of all, even if you are best friends, you grew since 1 year old, you grew up, okay, and you end up marrying that person. The fact that one is a man and one is a woman means
Iba-ibang
your
reaction mo sa
your
nangyayari.
wiring, your mental wiring is different. A man loves from his head, a woman loves from her heart, and that alone makes it very difficult already to begin with, even if you have been best friends all your life. See, that makes it difficult already. But it does not mean that we should not get married. It does not mean that marriage is hopeless, that it will always end up in the rocks, on the rocks. What we need to understand is that our differences should complement each other.
Well, that's an assumption that is so
It may be
it's
an
almost
assumption.
impossible to determine beforehand.
No.
Until hinaharap mo yung problema, hindi mo alam kung paano kang magre-react eh.
No. I agree with you there. But my point is, from the start, man and woman are different already to begin with. See? They're already different. And so there will be clashes. There will be
Pero
misunderstandings.
Is that the fact of difference is supposed to be complementation, not conflict?
It should be, ideally. The problem is, if I don't know how to deal with the uniqueness and the difference that I have with my wife, what
Alam
could
mo
become
kung-
complementary
alam mo
could be
kung bakit?
conflict.
Because essentially, the relationship of a man and a woman has to be based on trust. And trust does not develop overnight.
It does not.
It takes many, many years and many times through many acts of forgiveness before some kind of compatible relationship can ensue or result.
Yeah. First of
Pero
all,
mas sila sa Panginoon, ganun eh. Ang problema ng karamihan dito, walang marunong magtiwala sa Panginoon eh.
yeah.
Marunong magdasal, marunong humingi, marunong magpanata, marunong gumawa ng ganito.
But not trust.
Para hindi yung tiwala, hindi ka pwede magsalita ng pananampalataya kung hindi ka marunong magtiwala.
Yeah.
Babalik po tayo sa ilang segundo pagkatapos ng ilang paalala.